I cold cocked my grandma in my sleep. That's awful. I was a vulnerable woman. Oh my God, I'm so excited. What a good conversation we just had, Addison. It was great. What did we talk about? Oh, what a nice guy. What a nice fellow. Well, throw on your transatlantic accent. I am so excited.
All right, well, here we go.
Yes, this is a good episode. I don't remember what we talked about. We talked about some good things. Let it flow off the cuff.
I'm glad you said that because my memory's a little hazy about it all too. But for one thing's for sure that we talked about, and that was the Amish.
We did.
We talked about the Amish.
We did. We talked about the Amish.
We talked about camping.
Camping, working out, dads.
Oh, yeah, we talked about
the chai, which I still don't like.
Yeah, we talked about growing up.
Not that I don't like Chicago.
Our hometowns.
That word. Yes, hometowns.
Yeah.
East, West, Central, Pacific Islanders. We talked about all of it.
We can't forget about this. The best part of the show is, grandma stories.
My grandma.
Yeah.
Oh, Junebug. May she rest in peace. Her soul. Well, thank you so much for being here. If you are a first-time listener, welcome. This is Slingshot Engaged. Welcome to episode 2 with Addison. Ha! Test. Okay. Testing. My mom will call me from the other room. And I don't know why that's infuriating to me. That's really petty, isn't it?
Well, okay, it's petty, but at the same time, my mom would get infuriated if I did that to her. Although I wouldn't mind that, so it's weird that you have an issue with it.
I know, of all the things for me to pick out and have a specific issue with,
yeah, I
just don't. It's something about I have to get up and come to you anyway.
Okay,
and
so that's
we
fair.
Don't live in a mansion.
I mean, you guys do share a wall.
I share a wall. I would prefer a knock on the wall. Just like a Morse code type deal.
Yeah, no, that would it'd be faster.
It would be faster.
It'd be...
Don't mind me, I'm just pulling this over here.
You would save electricity, save your text. Not that I don't think...
That definitely wasn't my concern, but it's a valid point.
I think everybody has unlimited text anyway. Is that true? Or do people still pay for text?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Some people probably pay for text. Also, can I get a flip phone still?
You definitely can. You're going to be ordering it off a website or...
Am I going on eBay?
Or visiting a country. Ordering it off... off a website, but not off of unless it's Cricket or what's that one with the big jitterbug? Jitterbug.
Oh God, those people are living their best lives though in the RVs, just going around the country.
I stopped into my first RV. I made a delivery to my first RV lot, and this RV lot was none I've ever seen.
RV lot, is that a place where they sell RVs or where people go and camp in an RV or live long term?
Camp or live long term. It looked like some people could have been there all year. It looked like some were just there for a little. Yeah, so I make my delivery in here. The roads are paved. They've all got little street signs.
Like a trailer park.
Yeah, it's like a trailer park, but it's nice. Okay. It's really nice.
What I'm getting at here is that I would live in it. Do you think they get hot?
In the RV?
Yeah.
No, I think they probably have stellar air conditioning.
Stellar.
Yeah, those things are millions of dollars.
Because I'm just remembering as a kid, I had friends who had that lived in trailers, and they got hot.
Oh, yeah.
And there's a certain kind of smell that goes a little bit musty.
Huh.
A little bit like the walls are wet.
Well,
I think we're also talking about... Yeah.
But you never know. I don't know. I haven't had a lot of experience in trailers. But aside from loading them... Sorry, that brought me back to a bad place.
Are there not many trailers on the East Coast? Is that a Midwestern thing?
No, it definitely more in the Midwest, but East Coast, yeah, sure, we had trailer parks, but I think we had a lot of just lower, high density housing, like that part of town.
Oh no.
Yeah, we have more parts of like stuff like that.
I didn't realize where the projects were for a while, like relative to where I grew up.
Okay.
And then I remember like learning in school about what projects were, and then I went home and I was like, Ma, I think that Joliet is a project, and she was like, No, honey.
Oh.
No, honey, that's just a poor neighborhood. That's just economically challenged.
Yeah. So there's like government housing projects.
Okay.
And then there's just bad neighborhoods.
And there is a big difference.
Well, yeah, because it was funny. They had a bridge that went over the main highway from our government housing to the liquor store and to the grocery store and to the bank. And what's funny about this is because I'm from Pennsylvania, and so in Pennsylvania you can't buy liquor in a grocery store.
Okay,
You need if you want anything more than like a shitty wine, you need to go to the state store, and that's like that they open. And I'm telling you, I've seen people waiting outside the door, and I know that they were the ones walking across that bridge.
Oh no! What a good place to drink your beer out of a black or out of a brown bag, though. Just like pop your legs off the edge, sit on it. I love a good bridge.
This is not a good bridge.
Oh, I have a different.
This is just a steel. Oh, you know what? A bridge was an overstatement. This is a steel walkway that has an arch. It actually has an arch, but yeah,
God,
sure. It's
I
a
really
bridge.
glamorized
It's like
that.
2 people wide.
Well, fuck.
Rattly, rusty.
Well, since you've painted such a good mental image, is there anything that you do miss about back east?
That I do miss about back east. I know I'll miss the fall. I like that foliage, but
I thought you meant the fall of the east. For a second, I was like, deep autumn.
I may have been born there, but I did not.
I'm mad that I missed the fall.
Well, no, I mean, it's crisp. There's like this crispness in the air that you get.
We get that in Midwest too. Very certain. Yeah. Shweta-weta. The glorified shweta-weta.
I playlist, and it does capture a sound and a feeling.
Welcome. Well, which is funny because sweater weather is about California, I'm pretty sure.
I mean,
so maybe
California's got to throw on the sweaters too, like getting northern deer.
That's what I'm saying. Is the autumn atmosphere the same everywhere?
I don't know.
Maybe I'm just biased. I think it's the best. Do you guys have pumpkin patches over there? Like, do you have room?
Yeah.
Do you have cornfields?
Oh, yeah. Oh my gosh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, there's cornfields, like my housing development.
Okay.
Cornfield. Town.
Okay. I definitely imagined you in, like, Philly.
Oh, that was not right.
And I know that you said you grew up near the Amish, but, like, I feel like Amish are always closer than we think they are. Like, when I figured out that the Amish were a hopscotch away, revolutionary.
I have a friend who's employing the Amish right now to do yard work, and he says that they are the best workers he's ever employed.
Highly principled.
And
can't argue with that, man.
So, fun fact, the Amish families that are still, like, living to this day are, like, multi-millionaires.
No
and
shit.
You will never,
is that an urban legend?
Nope, not at all. They will never show their material wealth, or they'll never show money like that, but it's just because also, like, okay, so yeah, they have millions. Why do they work for other people then? It's just because this money keeps getting handed down, and they don't pay for anything, actually. They make everything they use. And, like, yeah, at this point, if you have an Amish family name, they probably have a lot more money than you'd ever expect.
What?
Yeah.
What's an Amish last name? Is it Dutch?
I don't know. I can only think of, like, Amish first names, and they're all, like, biblical, like Jebediah.
I think their last names would probably be Dutch because they speak like Dutch, or there's like a different word for the Dutch that the Amish speak. I don't remember what it is. Mind you, all of this is from Breaking Amish Mob.
And that's just, I mean, that's one portrayal of it, but the real portrayal of it would be driving in a car and having another car coming at you with a buggy in your lane, and you got to figure out whether to slow down or to get in front of that buggy or to get in a serious accident.
Is there ever a situation where it's okay to just plow the buggy?
I mean, I would think if you're driving on the road, we paid for those roads with our tax dollars. They didn't.
Oh,
they didn't. If it had to come down to
no.
it, if it had to come down to it. But I feel bad about it because they'll all wave to you if you like wave at them driving. You can't photograph them though.
Why would you? You can't photograph anyone. You can't just walk up. I'm super cognizant of that, especially when like traveling and being a tourist. I am not taking a picture of somebody's face because I don't like. I'd be mad.
Oh no, I think it's rude when you are just blatantly. Like, oh
look, someone who's different.
No, I gotta look at this later.
Yeah. No. I can't wait to look at your face later tonight. Like, I don't know what you're doing with it. I don't know what other photos you took. Is it like specific they don't take photos, period? Or it's just like, don't take a photo of me in public?
It's more like it goes against what they believe in.
So it's kind of like Insidious.
It's been a while.
Where he doesn't want to take the woman in black keeps showing up and then she gets closer in every photo.
Okay, that's fair.
I'm just saying they both don't like to take photos.
Oh, okay.
I suppose that the connection was not as profound as I thought it was.
I'm slow.
It's fine. But okay, so I've spent some time in New York. My first time in New York, alone. Well, yeah, it was alone, and it was my first time. I went to Queens. I went to Jamaica, Queens, which I'm pretty sure is Nicki Minaj and also Action Bronson. Oh, Lord, people would be upset if I got that wrong. But I'm pretty sure.
No, he's from Flushing.
Flushing?
Flushings, yeah.
Are you saying Fleshings or Flushings?
Flushing's, New York. Yeah, he sings about it in his songs.
Flushing when I listen to Action Bronson. Okay, that's a topic.
Okay.
He is
a Renaissance man.
Growing up, if you would have asked me what my dream boat is, I would not have described you Action Bronson.
Okay.
Having watched Fuck That's Delicious,
yeah, right.
Gotten into his music, watched way too many interviews, the Ancient Alien shit, all of it, I have a problem. And I can't tell you what I'm attracted to on that man except for the whole.
The whole thing.
Like the whole peach.
Yeah, it's like he's this confident.
The confidence.
Like, he's got that Donald Glover level of just I can do whatever the fuck I want and I can do it well.
Trend setting.
Right. So his music is filthy and
yes.
And it's hard to pull that off in a tasteful way, but like he does it somehow.
I wouldn't say that tasteful is the top word that comes to my mouth.
My vocabulary.
But he is more tasteful than other, like, put him in a category with like other rappers that are around him that would get recommended, you know? He's probably the classiest.
Oh, for sure the classiest. That man can cook.
Classiest on that show. I've never... Does he cook? I just see him doing a lot of eating, which I'm all for.
Oh, he cooks.
Does he? Okay. Does he do like the French method? I see him do a lot of Italian.
He was a chef, I think, before like he was a rapper.
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
No, that's Maddie Matheson. They're not the same person.
I've never heard of a Maddie Matheson. So.
You need to get into some Maddie Matheson if you have not. He is a Canadian chef, and he's just kind of yelling, and
like
he's
Gordon
so
Ramsay?
good. No. The nicest dude. I want to eat poutine with him if he didn't have a wife.
Canadian over.
You know, oh no, you just don't get it. I'll introduce you to Maddie Matheson. He's the one who inspired the chorizo lasagna that I wanted for my birthday.
I don't know about your chorizo lasagna.
Well, doesn't sound good though.
Sounds fancy.
He has weird recipes.
Okay.
I'm not gonna lie, I forgot the dog was in here and that terrified me.
Oh.
He's like, yeah,
I knew he was backing me the whole time, just waiting for love.
Oh my god. But yeah, that's the thing about both Maddie Matheson and Action Bronson. Unconventionally attractive. But they'd eat you while you eat. Picking up what I'm laying down.
I thought you were going to say while you eat them.
Like a 69 but involving food?
Well, with the way that they can cook, why not?
I'm just trying to imagine the logistics.
Alright, so yeah, like you throw like some buns on the dongs and some...
Oh, so you're incorporating it. I was imagining like a dinner plate and then
These
like...
men don't have food fetishes.
Ooh. Oh no, I didn't think about that. Is it unconventional?
An awesome fetish to have. Like,
is it unconventional?
You wouldn't even need the dinner. You just go right. What? Sorry.
You'd be like, hey, honey, I got an idea. But I need you to get naked and I'm going to cover you in sushi. And you're just going to lay there and I'm just going to eat the sushi off your naked body.
You can go to restaurants where you can do this.
Exactly.
In this world, yes.
Yes.
I don't know what they let you do under the table. But...
Oh, man. Oh, that makes it kind of dirty, don't it? Fish wouldn't be my go-to for, like, sexy foods.
No.
What's the sexiest food, though?
A velvet chocolate of sorts. Or like a dark chocolate.
God, there's no privacy in this whole house.
Yeah, I know. Tell me about it.
Welcome. You walked into my room.
How's it feel?
I'd never walk into your room. I'm very cognizant of it. It is not my fault that you have curtains.
You put them up, right?
Mm-hmm.
Hi, Juice Boy.
Your room.
Don't you put that vendetta on me.
Your section off.
Do you know who Action Bronson is?
Mm-hmm.
Do you find him sexy?
No. I don't know who it is.
God fucking damn it.
I love the way that he would bring his pieces with him on Fuck That's Delicious. Like, he'd have these killer pieces. These rigs that are like thousands of dollars. And he just
internationally. Just travel with a...
They mud them, but they were clean as a whistle, so they could pass. Yeah.
Addison, I have to tell you something. I once flew with a bong in my carry-on.
Nice.
It was a Christmas gift for Wes.
Was it clean?
For my brother. It was brand spanking new.
Oh, then there's nothing wrong with that. You're carrying art.
I mean, it was a full bong, a pipe. Good Lord, would you leave the dog alone?
I started it.
And I'm finishing it. Finish him, Jesse! Poo! Poo poo! Poo poo poo! He would be the worst in a dog fight or a dog versus human fight or any fight. Jesse.
Oh.
He's a lover.
He's just like, can we put our arms on each other? And
any type of confrontation. He just immediately bails. Like Dusty on the beach in California when the man in the hood walked up with scissors.
I was high.
We all were.
I left.
We were all high, but the difference is I was a vulnerable woman on the beach, and I had already been I was in a vulnerable state, and he was behind me, so I didn't see the threat. All I saw, I don't know what you said. It was something like, I had to go get my water bottle. And he just went to the car and he never came back. And eventually, I saw Rachel looking at him behind me. And he walks up and he's wearing a Naruto, maybe, some kind of black robe with a hood up and a comedically large pair of Skizzers.
Oh, okay.
In his robe, lash. What do you call that? His belt. His belt. Yeah. And he walks up and he's like, hi. And we're like, hello. And I do great in crisis. I'm not going to lie. I do fan-fucking-tastic. So I'm sitting there and I'm taking it all in like fucking Bourne, like trilogy style. Like I'm like, scissors, hood, taking the features, can't see anything. It's dark. All right. What's his voice? Okay. And I'm taking in all of my things and I'm getting the information. He says, I'm from Chicago. And I say, cool. And like, we didn't engage in that topic at all. We just let that go. We were like, really? You don't say. And he's talking about how he's like been on the beach for a while. And Dusty and Rachel had been giving me shit all day because I was like, well, it's hard to tell who's homeless and who's not on the beach.
Yeah,
well,
fair.
This situation, I was right, and he was homeless and dangerous, armed and dangerous. So, whatever. At one point, you offered him a cigarette before you left, didn't you?
He asked for one.
So he walks up, you give him a cigarette, and you get up and you go to the car.
I was paranoid. I was like, he's on a mission, and whoever gives him a cigarette is who he has to sacrifice.
Shut up. You think there's like a gang?
So I left.
That's a gang initiation in San Diego. He's like, hey. It's like the urban... In the Midwest, did you guys have this on the East Coast? If somebody follows you home on the highway.
That's what I was thinking about.
Yeah. And they like, don't flash your brights. Is that what it is?
That's it, yeah.
Don't flash your brights. Oh God, this is such a Midwestern thing. Like,
corn. That's all we got.
We were so polite they had to warn us not to be.
Like, we'll see who cares about who in this society. And then we'll kill them.
Ugh, during the fall.
So yeah, really, the only difference between the Midwest and the East is that you guys have more cornfields and we get a little strip of mountain.
Well, and a slight vibrato in accent.
Yeah, I noticed that. Minnesotans, oh, don't you know?
Okay,
Wisconsin.
Minnesota's different. That's almost like its own territory. I guess they're still the Midwest.
Minnesota.
In some ways, they're the most Midwest. But I feel like Chicago accent and Boston or New York are very similar with very small, definitive differences.
Okay.
Like, I know, like... Okay, so I had a teacher in, like, the 3rd grade that moved here from somewhere. She was, like, an international teacher. And she was pointing out to us that we had an accent. And she was like, yeah, when you guys say God, you say it with an A.
God.
Yeah. So then I remember just like the rest of the day trying to force myself to say it with an O. And I just remember being like, oh my God, in the middle of conversations. And people would be like,
God.
Do you have a speech impediment? Oh my God.
What is this goad?
Oh my God. What are you talking about? I'm saying G-O-D.
You wear a retainer? It's got a lisp, motherfucker.
I did have a retainer for a while.
Yeah.
How unfortunate.
Mm.
I almost needed one. Almost needed braces.
Almost.
But I just didn't cut it.
Do you remember my teeth? Or did we reconnect?
Shark mouth?
No. We
Brace
reconnect.
face?
No, little
Shark
vampire.
Brace face.
Little
You poor
vampire. No, those are not true. I was a little vampire. My canines were turned sideways. So they're just like pointy and very like...
How did that affect your chomping of food?
It didn't.
Okay.
I just, yeah, clearly.
Didn't slow her down.
Fuck off. I wasn't a pudgy kid until like 13. 12. I was a normal sized baby when I came out.
Okay.
Really? I like Dorothy, 32 pounds.
What? Stop.
I was a 32-pound
No,
newborn.
you cannot pass a 32-pound baby.
Right, I was a C-section.
You shut up.
I had a parasitic twin and I absorbed that bitch.
I actually had a twin like
Shut
that.
up.
I ate that bitch.
I ate that bitch.
Shut up.
Yeah, so did my brother Noah. He ate that bitch.
No shit.
Yeah.
Your mom had 2 sets of twins and they both...
Yeah.
What's
And the thing is, I'm not the least bit competitive. Like, I'm always okay with a good match and just doing it for the sport. I guess I got that out in the womb.
Baby sharks do that, I think. They'll, like, kill each other in the womb.
Believe it.
There's a term for it. I don't know
Humans
what
are
it is.
awful.
Yeah, got scrappy in there.
I scared my mom yesterday because I put a pillow in my belly and walked around like a pregnant woman, and she was like,
You
"Too
didn't
triggered."
scare her. She was pissed off her pillow was in your pants.
Well, that was a problem.
Was it her face pillow?
Well, it wasn't her butt pillow.
Oh,
That's
jeez,
for
Randy,
sure.
what are you doing putting people's face
You
pillows?
sounded like Morty. Oh, jeez, Randy.
Oh, jeez, Randy. You know, what's the most terrifying thing about that show?
What?
Is that, like, I think subconsciously everybody wants to kind of be Rick because they want to be, like, that smart guy who, like...
Oh, yeah.
But, like... well, what's sad is that, like, the more I watch that show, the more I realize I am a Jerry. And that there
Don't say that.
Oh.
Don't say that about yourself.
No, when you're drawing too many connections, especially because my girlfriend is almost going to be a vet. Like how,
Oh.
and how she kind of has like that kind of personality with, yeah.
I will never tell her you said that.
Yeah. So thank you.
Yeah.
But it's funny because like when it's funny because you know how they make like the horse jokes, like the horse doctor jokes. And I was like, oh wow, maybe sometime when you can be a real doctor. And like, she watches the show too, and it like completely translates. So it's great.
Oh my god, she has a good sense of humor.
She has to. Yeah.
She
I
has
put her through
to.
so much shit.
Have you ever pranked her?
Pranked her?
Yeah.
All the time. I actually have to watch the way I prank her now because, like, she's too gullible. Yeah, seriously.
I've been told that a time or two. What's your go-to?
Of pranking her?
Yeah.
Literally, it's just as easy as taking her phone because she has a bad habit of losing her phone, and I'll be like looking for it with her.
That's fucked up.
Find it right away because of course when she loses her phone, I need to help her look for it, and
I feel like you got some secret issues that you're taking out. That's like passive aggressive. That's fucked
so,
up.
Yeah, I make her look for like 10, 15 minutes, and then I throw it back under like something, and I'm like, didn't you look here? I'm like, it's right here, and. Yeah, sometimes I tell her, and then sometimes I don't. But like the funny thing is, it's that happening infrequently enough where she'll forget. So like I can play it either way depending on how she's been to me.
Oh my god! So because you admitted that you do this with her phone, that leads me to believe that you do it with a lot of her things. Do you just move stuff just because?
No, but I do use the things that she tells me not to use.
What does she tell you not to use?
Well, she gets this like $40 face wash. In the shower. It's from like and it feels.
Stop.
It's been doing wonders for my skin, and she has this also like really expensive conditioner. I don't use the expensive shampoo, but I do use the expensive conditioner, and I've been using that.
It makes a difference.
And then, yeah, that's about it.
Okay, so it's bathroom stuff.
Yeah.
Dusty has Harry's peppermint face scrub.
Okay.
It is so good.
Yeah, noted.
That I have to make it a point to not use it because I will just use until it's gone.
It's just like a soap bar.
It's
no.
The tube.
Oh, interesting. So it's real gritty.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
It's nice.
I like that. I might pick one up.
Very nice. Very pepperminty. Highly recommend.
There was a sample with when I got my razors. I got a pack of razors from Harry's, and there's a sample. I was like, "Oh, this is nice."
Real nice. Got it from Harry's.
Target, Walmart.
I've been feeling like a barber lately. I've been using one of those single blades.
Ooh.
But I've actually bought it at Walmart. So
I'm impressed. Yeah. Are you going to come back here like the Joker?
No, but I've been leaving my mustache completely.
Stop wrestling.
I've shaved everything except my mustache for like right here. For the past few times.
Why?
Just to fuck with Allie. You come out and be like...
I'm beginning to sympathize with your girlfriend. Like, what the fuck? I feel like you're slowly like... Is this gaslighting?
You know, I'd be lying right now if I just said that I knew what gaslighting means.
Okay.
Word of the day.
I'm looking up the actual definition of it.
Oh, because you don't know it.
Well, I have a general idea, but I don't want to be... Okay, I don't know.
There you go.
Gaslighting is when you make someone feel like they're crazy, I think. But let's see what the real definition is.
You do a damn good job with it yourself.
Gaslighting is used to describe when abusive behavior, specifically when an abuser manipulates information in such a way as to make a victim question his or her sanity. Gaslighting intentionally makes someone doubt their memories or perception of reality.
Yeah, so when that bottle's getting empty and she's like, am I just using too much? And I'll be like,
yes! Apparently it comes from a movie, a black and white movie in 1946 called Gaslight. And that's the plot of the movie.
That makes a world of sense.
It really does when you think about it.
Crazy.
I literally can't imagine. So we've already talked about, like, did we talk about having 2 bedrooms?
2 bedrooms?
I don't understand. Granted, my longest relationship has been like 3 months and he didn't admit he was my boyfriend. Okay. So not going great. But when you move in with someone, are there certain things that you have to have? Because there's certain things that as a single person I kind of enjoy, like my bedroom.
Yeah. So
do you want your own bedroom?
We just had this discussion last night. We're like, if we ever do like move into a nicer place with some more rooms, I was like, would you be like mad if I wanted my own room? And she's like, no. She's like, it makes so much sense. And then she's like, and if we wanted to sleep together, we could just like be like, yo, your room tonight, my room tonight.
It's kind of fun.
And I think it'd be great too because like, I'll be frank with you, I've been sleeping with my girlfriend for years, and sharing the bed, it's never as great as when you have it by yourself.
It is not. That's a fair point. Like, that's the other thing of like, I never made it past the figuring out the cuddling phase of like,
cuddling's rough.
do you cuddle every night? does somebody get their feelings hurt if I don't want to cuddle?
No, so what you do is you set the bar real low to start, and that way the cuddling's not expected.
What's the lowest bar of cuddling?
In my relationship,
touching toes.
Yeah, I guess that could be it. If I'm too lazy to give her a kiss, I'll give her a kiss, and then just roll over and do my own thing. But then some nights I'll fall asleep. And we'll actually fall asleep cuddling, but that's 10% of the time. Then other nights we'll try to fall asleep cuddling. That's 20% of the time. And then quickly realize that that's just not going to work and then go do our own thing.
Yeah, so is there a nice way to slither out of it?
Yeah, well, you just have to act first, and usually the other person understands.
So are there hard feelings about the cuddling ever?
No, I've never felt that way. It's always a relief to me, honestly.
Man.
No, because don't get me wrong, the nights where we do fall asleep cuddling, it works, it's great. Nobody has a sore arm, nobody's uncomfortable. But then the nights that it doesn't work, you just gotta cut your losses,
It's not gonna work because I don't sleep in the same position every night.
No.
I'm a tosser. I'm a turner. My grandma, when I was a kid, told me I couldn't sleep with her in her bed anymore because I kicked her.
No.
In the stomach.
Can't be kicking your grandma.
I cold cocked my grandma in my sleep. That's awful.
Not many grandchildren can say they've done that.
No. So we don't share the bed no more. I feel like that's a Midwest thing too, is sharing beds.
Allie used to sleep with her mom.
It's an economic thing. It's not because there was literally one bed.
Oh no, they're rich.
My Grammy.
Just because she's a baby.
No, my grandma lived in the most adorable little house. It was a little yellow house. It was 1 story.
Oh, a ranch.
1 bedroom. A little box on the side of the road with a very large lawn. But anyway.
I know. Beautiful.
So there's my There's my granny for you. I don't know though. The cuddling thing. My grandma had a whole This keeps coming back to her. But she did. She had a whole nighttime routine. Okay, have you ever heard of putting soap at the bottom of the bed?
Nope.
That's a thing. Apparently it gets rid of cramps. You put a bar of soap at the bottom of your bed. Can you imagine that you're going to cuddle Allie and you're like, what the fuck is that? And she's like, it's my bar of soap. No, under the sheet.
What the fuck?
There's just a lump at the bottom.
No, this is not real.
Well, I used to think that it was liquid soap.
Well, yeah, because by the time people are in there, it's getting all mushy.
Right. Well, I just dumped liquid soap at the foot of my bed one time, and my mom was like, no, and stop trying to do what grandma does.
So you held your grandma in high regard.
Mm-hmm. Well, kind of, sort of. My grandma was really bitchy. My grandma, was a business owner. And so, she was a bitch. Let's be real here. She wasn't nice. Didn't really like kids. And then when I was, a teenager, then she started getting sick. So then I was taking care of her. And so once she started getting sick, she kind of, mellowed out and got nicer. And then I was like, oh, okay, you're not so bad.
Probably the meds.
Probably the meds. Let's be real. But it got better, and then she wanted me to write her life story. Her mom had written, my great-grandma that I never met wrote her life story. And then grandma wanted hers, but she was too old. And I ended up taking a life history course, and I was like, serendipity. So I wrote her life story, and boy, was that a wild experience.
Wild, right? What's this lady's name?
June. Junebug. Junie B. Jones. And so we do it, it's a semester-long project. I'm interviewing her. I've got hours of interview over the phone. I go in person. She shows me pictures. There's pictures in the book.
And is she loving this, or is she bugged by it?
No, she's having a great time.
Okay.
She loves the attention. She's telling me some things. She gives me a few, I've never told anyone stories before, which, was equally, okay, I will take this emotional burden from you, Grandma. And some of them were interesting.
Oh.
Some of them were a little rough. And I was like, this is for you that you're telling me this. Thank you. Thank you for that. But, so I write the book and I go to turn it in. And, teacher loves it. Send it to Grandma. And she calls me. And she says, my hair looks too dark on the cover. And I said, Grandma, it's a black and white photo. She's like, I know, but my hair was never that dark. Can you please make it lighter? Yeah, for sure. I can fix the photo, Grandma. Have you looking good. She looked great on the photo, by the way, but whatever. Make it look great. And then she goes, do we have time to do it again? And I said, what?
Do we have time to pay for another semester?
She goes, it just, it doesn't sound how I thought it did. And I was so meticulous because part of the project that we were learning about was use their voice. So literally, I was so meticulous that when I would edit things, I wouldn't insert words. I did everything in my power to keep it her words.
Oh, good.
So I would cut stuff. I would just I probably added 20 words to the whole book. I transcribed the interviews and cut them together to a book.
Nice.
But sometimes when you talk, it's, number one, it's different than your writing voice.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Yeah, and also you don't always, especially when you're a woman of a certain age, you don't always necessarily remember what you said. So there were a few parts in it that she was like, that's not true, it was incorrect. But more importantly, other than dates and stuff, there were a few scandalous stories, which, spoiler alert, were the best parts of the book. The best parts of the book. There is one story in the book, which I will retell right now because she hated it so much. It just brings me so much joy. She, I guess, her kids were at the house, and she went out to the living room. She was like a prankster, And she went out in the living room with her bathrobe on, and, they're drinking coffee and having breakfast. And she sits down at the table with her coffee, and she's, rubbing her leg. She's like, man, my leg sure is sore. It really hurts today. And they're like, well, Ma, why does it hurt? And she pulls up her dress robe, and it's just a full-length dildo.
Stop.
A full-length dildo. And she goes, man, it's just been heavy and hard to carry around all day. This thing's been getting on my nerves at the dinner table. And, of course, her friends were like, oh my God, wiener.
Yeah.
So her, daughter told me this story.
Yeah.
And it's I didn't do it justice, but, it's funny. Pulls the wiener out. Haha.
Wait, so this is a prank?
Yes.
Okay, I didn't know if somebody strapped this lady with a wiener and
No.
she just had
Grandma thought it'd be funny to pull a wiener out and be like, look at me, I've got a wiener.
Can you imagine her buying that wiener?
Yes, and I know where she bought it.
Oh.
But she sends me the book back, and she had taken a black Sharpie and X'd out that entire chapter in the book and X'd out the back so that you couldn't read.
Like an editor.
Like an editor. And I was like, oh. So there was a lot of situations. Grandma owned a bar, and she just, was that kind of woman and kind of
You have to
crass.
be a tough lady to be in the restaurant business.
She was a raunchy fucking woman. She was very raunchy. And so it was hard because she was like, my church friends are going to read this. And I was like, Grandma. Your church friends can't read anymore.
If they don't love you for it, they're not your friends.
Well, that might have been the problem. You never know.
Well, church friends don't ever really seem to be real friends.
I don't know. We had Pastor Jan, and Pastor Jan was dope. Revolutionary. Female pastor.
Okay.
That's dope in and of itself. Survived 3 different types of cancer at once.
Damn.
Mm-hmm.
Progressive and persistent.
Exactly. And then she became a reverend, and we still call her Pastor Jan because Reverend Jan, okay, well, now that I say it out loud, it sounds kind of dope as well. Maybe they call her Reverend Jan now, but she is forever and always Pastor Jan to me. Pastor
I just
Jan.
thought those were interchangeable terms, and now I'm realizing one requires the doctorate.
I can't tell you what one requires and what doesn't, but I do know that she is a reverend. Reverend. And I think she's Methodist or Lutheran. I think Lutheran. But we got excommunicated from the Catholic Church.
Good.
Because Mom got pregnant back in the 80s. So then we went over to the Methodists, and like I've said many times, the crackers are so much better over there. So much better.
As soon as you start breaking away from Roman Catholicism and working your way down the Protestant ladder, things get lighter. I don't know if they get better, because you get the Seventh-day Adventists, and they still think God's coming back. So it gets a little aggressive, but really usually gets better.
Yeah. I don't really remember much of the teachings from the Methodists. Honestly, I just remember going there for food. I was a very easy to please child.
And the coffee
and
hour.
hungry.
The coffee hour was fine with me. I just hated waking up. We went every Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
And that was just, as a kid, you get 2 days off a week. And horde.
I remember being called. Or, like, there were some of my Catholic friends that went to school on Sundays and Wednesdays. I was like, are you shitting me?
Oh, yeah, we
like, little me.
Yeah.
Are you shitting me? I'm not going twice.
Nah, my dad led the youth group.
Oh, yes. So pastor dad?
No. Pastor's just pastor. He's just, our church is pretty small. It's just like.
But your dad was a pastor?
No.
What was your dad?
He's a nuclear engineer.
Wasn't your dad into religion?
Yeah, he's like, not like, yeah, but he's not a pastor or anything. He'll just like teach. He teaches Sunday school and he like leads the youth group.
I think I'm putting a lot of stock in Sunday school teachers. I forget the criteria.
Not every Sunday school teacher is a pastor.
Oh, fair enough. Neither were mine. Mine were like the older kids, if I remember correctly.
Mine were just like the parents and then some old ladies of the church.
I think there was old ladies
they
too.
They kept like in like the crap.
And there was cookies.
Yeah, always.
Bad cookies.
Really, certain people would be in charge of the happy hours every Sunday of the month, and you could always look forward to some and not look forward to the other.
Happy hours?
Oh wow, I said happy hour. Coffee hour.
Okay, I was like, because that would be dope.
That's the kind of church I'm trying to attend.
Bitch, please.
Yeah, let me confess for the week and then wash it back with a Long Island and I'll be good.
Ooh. What is a Long Island?
A Long Island is like a mixture of like 4 different liquors with a bunch of sour in it so you can't taste any of it. And then it all kind of looks brown, so they call it tea.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, no, they get you slashed.
I honestly thought it was tea, so I would have been sorely.
Some places you need to be careful. 1, 2, 3 of those, and you could.
Oh God. Back in Greeley, we had one bar that had a margarita that there was a 2 margarita limit at the bar.
That's how it was for a beer.
It's like, damn.
In my hometown, yeah.
Damn. Okay.
But if you knew the bartender, they
give you another one. Be dope.
Thank God the bartenders are allowed to do that. Have you ever been in a situation with somebody at a bar where you thought, like, maybe I won't be able to control this and I'm going to need somebody else to take over here?
Oh, yeah. That's why I don't go to bars anymore. They don't let me drink anymore. It's like it always ends the same with my friends coming up to me and being like, hey, we really like you. And I'm like, oh, ... Where's this going? But we don't like tequila, Randy.
My friends don't like me because I black out. I view drinking a little bit differently than most. Some people like to casually drink. I don't know what casual drinking is.
No.
I like to drink until I'm satisfied, and usually that's to the point of like not being all there. So there's this weird thing for me because like in college, everybody's trying to get fucked up, right?
Mm.
But then there's also this standard where you're supposed to compose yourself in like some kind of way, like you're supposed to like be able to handle your liquor. And like, how am I gonna do that? And then but also I actually be fucked up, and then like I just found myself in this battle, and then I just ended up drinking at home.
Yeah. Or you pull the nerdy kid, and you just pretend to be fucked up.
Oh.
I'm feeling it, Mr. Krabs. I'm really feeling it.
Now.
Not gonna lie, freshman Randy might have pulled that a few times.
Okay.
A few times, because I had like, and still kind of have. I lean more towards controlling than what's the other end of the spectrum? Controlling or what do they call that?
The locus or
ambivalent.
No, not ambivalent. No.
Well, I'm the very opposite of whatever that is. I tend to be a bit more controlling, which means that I have a hard time getting fucked up in front of people. Yeah. It took me a long time to do shrooms.
Yeah.
And then I did shrooms with like
control for those kind of things.
Oh yeah. Oh, and I mean, I was remarkably in control. I definitely overestimated how rocket ship to the moon I would be on them. I definitely underestimated the shit taste.
Yeah.
Trash.
I never minded that much.
I super minded it. I was like, they all made fun of me too. I'm like, oh my god, do they all taste like this? Am I like,
well, they're literally like little cow shit. Little cow shit fungi. Like little cow shit flowers.
Cow shit flowers?
Or horse shit or whatever is the stinkiest.
Oh, fuck me.
Chicken shit.
I don't know, man. There's like a few people putting out theories right now that mushrooms like opened up the consciousness and played a big role in it.
I'm sure it did. I think
probably.
There's been writings on cave walls of mushrooms and stuff that changed. Like people are like, we do not have to just sit around the fire and they can sleep under the stars. We should make a lean-to.
Yes!
Or something like that. Or like you know that's kind of a... Because that happens all the time on psychedelics. Your brain is like...
I guess the better question is, do you think it's likely that a monkey ever picked up a mushroom and ate it? Yes. Do you think it's likely that one of those mushrooms was psychedelic? Yes. So, okay, now that we've established that it's likely, what were the probable outcomes of that? There's a lot. I don't think human evolution, the one thing that I'm kind of picking up on in this whole thing is that you will not have a trait if it only benefits one thing. So think of it as a kitchen, okay? Why would I buy all of these at-home gadgets or as seen on TV gadgets when I can have a nice chef's knife to do one job and it serves all these different purposes?
Okay.
You know? Like, the whole idea of evolution is that, like, evolution always favors what puts out the least amount of energy because that favors your survival and your reproductive success. Okay. All that is the general gist of that. It's just not... It doesn't save energy to have something serve one purpose. So...
Yeah, why would you carry the extra baggage?
Exactly. Like, you're not going to have, like, your apple slicer and your pineapple core. Like, no, you're going to take your knife with you. So...
Like, limitations in your blood. Like,
limitations, man. Exactly. So when it comes to, like, consciousness and what opened it up, it's, like, probably a shit ton... Like, a mixture, you know? Mm-hmm. It's probably a little bit of mushrooms. I think it's interesting looking at where humans came from, like, the fermentation process of, like, where they discovered alcohol, quote unquote, like rotten fruit and stuff like that. There's other things that talk about, like, the more complex your society gets, the bigger your brain has to get because you have to deal with the social connections.
On
and,
that
like,
topic, that plays into it too. As soon as we switched over from being a plant-based eating and moved on to carnivorous eating, our brains, like, probably just grew in size immensely. As soon as,
and then we figured out how to
fire,
cook it. Yeah.
Fire, that took away. As soon as we figured out how to cook it, that probably freed up so much time in a day.
Oh my God, yeah.
The best thing you could do is eat mushrooms and figure out how to do things more efficiently.
Right. You're like, hell yeah, I'm going to spend my day in the sand and just eat a couple of these, nom nom nom, and then I'm going to talk to God because that's what you had back then.
And it was, God back then was totally, like, celestial. Like, it was, that's the whole thing with, you know, the Stonehenge. Mm-hmm. On what the equinoxes, the sun comes up between the one pillar and sets between the other exactly. Like,
that's
they
wild.
used to make a pilgrimage every year to come and put it together. Because there's evidence that, like, it was not formed together in, like, the matter of 1, 2, or even.
Forgive me. I'm about to. Here's my Midwestern showing. Easter Island, is that a Pacific island?
That is a Pacific. You are right. Yep. So
okay, so it's Pacific Islanders who are really good at, like, using the stars to navigate.
Oh, they're the best sailors on the sea.
Yeah. Moana.
The reason Easter Island, which is so far past, like, New Zealand or whatever, it's almost like it's closer to South America. People from the Philippines made it there on boats they constructed by hand with wood. They brought, like, animals with. They were literally like homesteaders of the ocean.
Yeah, they did just as well as the Vikings did, but they didn't rape and pillage everybody. And it turns out that it's way better. That is true. That's alleged. That's not a fact. But I feel like it makes more sense as a society, path of least resistance. Don't fucking kill everybody you see. Yeah, you might get their gold, but it probably makes more sense to set up trading.
Yeah.
Communications. Allies. Now we're getting into Survivor, and I definitely mean the TV show, not in general, where you need your allies. You gotta cast your votes. Like,
I spent a little bit of time with that show, but not nearly enough.
I grew up on that show. I haven't watched it since I was a kid, but damn, it's ingrained in there. I just remember my dad, oh God, watching that show and being like, you just gotta do this, this, and this. Which is ironic that now I grow up and want to go live in the jungle and camp 24/7. Like, it's not a mystery where that came from. I definitely picked up the camping from my dad. Like, when we were a kid, you know where he took us? The fucking Boundary Waters. In Minnesota, between the U.S. and Canada. It's extreme camping.
Yeah.
We had to go up and down like little, what were probably beaver dams, but I called them waterfalls.
Yeah.
Like, it was insane. There were mooses. Multiple moose.
Oh, I thought we were getting at mice, but then that would be the plural.
Wolves. I remember one time there was a wolves attack. There was a pack of wolves, and it ran this moose into the lake, and it got stuck in the mud.
Yeah, you've seen a moose?
Yes.
Those things are
I
big.
saw the aftermath. So they run them in, and the wolves can't get to it, so it's stuck in the mud, and it just drowned it in the mud. So we hear it all go down, and it dies for nothing.
It's like gargling mud.
Yeah, like they can't even like. So we take the canoe, right? We get in our little canoe. We go check it out. Mind you, I was shitting during that. So all I hear, I'm out in the woods shitting, and all I hear is like a wolf pack and a moose. Taking down a moose, probably...
Helping the shit come out.
Less than a half mile down the shoreline from us. It was very close. It was just around the corner. So it didn't take much to finish up. I was like, oh, at that point, I'm like, I'm done. But we take the canoe, we go see him. And I just remember the leeches like a foot long. Yeah. They look like snakes.
That is a fear of mine, the whole leech thing.
Oh.
I don't want it, don't get it. If I ever get out of water and there's one on me, I'll be like...
Oh, I got over it in the Boundary Waters. They were everywhere. Like, it was insane. I still don't like them, but...
That was camping for your dad. Was that like something like he did all of his life, or was it more like a phase thing?
I don't know much about my dad.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. I know that he went a lot when he had kids.
Yeah.
But I just remember him always, and to this day, he's still always watching like Naked and Afraid or something like that. Mm-hmm. And he's very much always like, kind of, okay, when I was in high school, he wanted me to be a gymnast. He's very much into like peak fitness. Like, I want you to be the best you can. I want you to be Survivor Man.
It's interesting that he wanted you to do a sport. Like, he's not like, just, go see what you like.
Mind you, it's not like he was like a coach or anything. He just told me that you should be a gymnast, and then was like, look, that's cool. You should go learn how to do that. And I was like, okay, Dad, I have no resources to do that, but okay.
Tumbling mat, here I come.
Yeah, here I come. Let me build one out of my mattress with our nearest Walmart 30 minutes away. I was like, yeah. So he didn't like there were, I don't know if he camped a lot, but the good memories I have of my dad definitely were probably spent camping and not living in Illinois.
That's fair. I would think so.
Illinois is a hard place to raise a family.
Illinois just seems...
I mean, the part where we're from, the whole Chicago area, which if you count in Chicagoland and then all the suburbs and then Chicago's greater countryside, which apparently is its own region that I just heard of last week. Yeah. That's a real thing, apparently, I just heard of. Apparently where we're from is considered Southlands.
Okay.
I guess. I don't know. But it's a rough place to have kids and grow up. Like, your resources just aren't there. There's no public transit, really. Like,
yeah,
very industrial.
So that means that's probably not great socioeconomic conditions.
I mean, not on our side.
Right.
not down there. But it is interesting, like with my coworker that grew up, he grew up on the north side, and it's so funny that we have like very similar experiences. He's like, I remember driving from the burbs into the city to go do stuff, and I was like, I do too, but like from the other side. I drove to the train station, and then I got on the train to go to the city. Yeah.
So like in terms of sprawling, is it like this size?
No, I think it's bigger.
I would think it's bigger.
The only thing it's hindered by is Lake Michigan. So Lake Michigan, it's very concentrated. Like, that stops it from going further east. But yeah, I mean, like, we grew up like 40 minutes to an hour south of like downtown Chicago. The Kai. Kai-town. Cowtown. But delightful. Well, any final closing thoughts here? We're coming up very quickly approaching an hour. It's been I didn't really introduce this. I usually do the introduction at the end because I'm terrible.
Oh, well,
spoiler.
I know we were going to try and talk about consciousness, but...
We always come back to it.
Yeah, I still have some stuff. We have some questions that we need to answer before we get on that show.
Oh, yeah. Most definitely. Further questions. Are you making progress on Primate Memoir?
Honestly, no.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love your honesty.
Yes, but I'm still 7 pages in, and
love it.
And I am going to do it. So
no,
I read books in a funky fashion.
No pressure. I don't want that. If you never gave me that book back, I would never think about it again.
Well, yeah, I told you about it, and you were like, "Oh, I gave that to you."
Yeah, I literally could care less on whether we finish that or not. I don't know. Well, if there's any, do you have any words of wisdom to save our 6 listeners during quarantine? What advice would you give?
To save you during quarantine?
Yeah, mentally.
Wake up slow.
What the fuck?
Just wake up. Don't worry about shit for a second. Fall back asleep if you need to.
Oh.
Don't check your phone. Just wake up at your pace, because right now this might be the last vacation you get.
Damn. That's fucking deep.
Think about the next time you can wake up on what is today? On a Thursday.
That's true.
Whenever you like, because you have to stay at home.
I woke up at 1 p.m. today. I rolled out. This is where I worked out. That is where I slept. This is where I'm working. Literally,
it's a roll. It's a nice
30. Yeah, I rolled onto the yoga mat, and then I rolled into the chair, and then maybe I might scoot over to my guitar later. But that's about it. I guess I'm asking for advice on myself because I definitely don't have any to contribute.
And mine was.
It's wild.
I heard that on a show last night, so don't quote.
Are you plagiarizing on my podcast?
No.
How dare you?
No.
Well, I don't know. I'm kind of enjoying the current moment of anonymity. We've got like 6 listeners, which is just like, I can do whatever I want, man. Like,
yeah, even if they do get upset, I can say some controversial things.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
Can I end on a controversial word?
Oh, yeah.
All right. Get over yourselves if you're taking all the toilet paper and cleaning supplies. If we all just bought like normal human beings, we wouldn't run out of stock and we'd be fine. People are being hogs about it. You should be ashamed and be better. People are being good about it. Thank you. I'll catch you next time. It's been Addison Zakarian.
Was that as aggressive as you could make that?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Aliens. Listeners of the pod. Those in the outer sphere. Coming at you from ground zero and Satan's anus. The dog is literally coming. I'm outroing. Get out. Goodbye. Is there anyone out there? I don't know. I'm ending it. Thank you for listening. We'll try and do another one. I don't know who my next guest is going to be. I don't have many friends. But yeah, until next time. Bye.